want to do a quick video going over some of the key points I've noticed from the developer Q&A yesterday. I just watched it, noticed some points that I wanted to touch on briefly, give my thoughts on what's going on. You know, I don't have access to alpha. I just recently started doing content, so. But I still think I'd like to get my point of view out there. And if anybody wants to watch the video, that's entirely up to them. I'm going to be talking about a little bit as I'm leveling my forst Draenei. There's something to do. Give me a reason to play that because it's not going to be that involved with me playing her as opposed to trying to figure out some of the higher level characters that I have. So, okay. First up, I'd like to mention the allied races that they mentioned. Briefly, when they were talking about the allied races, they were wondering when they'll be available. If they could give a list of any more that will be available. We know that the orcs are going to be coming. The different tribes will have, you know, a whole new faction of orcs. And then he also said the Zendalari trolls, and he said Kultiran. So I wonder if that was a slip, because I don't know if that's actually been officially mentioned yet or not. If it has, I missed it. I know they talked about it with the druid forms, but as far as I know, last I had heard, I haven't seen anything official set on that yet. Just curious about that. Anyway, that'll be cool if the Kultirans are coming, or as Taliesin likes to call them, the bears. I think the fat ones look like bears, I guess. And I can kind of see that. But they were saying that they will always be released in pairs, unless, you know, the situation demanded it. So I could see actually, like, say 7.3 or 8.3 rather. You do something and it involves the orcs release help somebody and they unlock an allied race, and then 8.35 the Alliance does the same thing, unlocks their allied race depending on where it's at in the story. So I can understand that happening, but I think that would be few and far between. I think if they do announce them, like, we'll be able to unlock the Zendalari troll on the horse side, whereas Alliance will be able to unlock their Dark Iron Dwarves at the same time. Just thought that was... I actually thought that's how it was going to be with the 4 that we have access to now. I honestly thought that that was going to be... what am I trying to say? I didn't think that when I kept hearing they were going to be for pre-order, I was like, how are they going to do that? Because they said at BlizzCon that they were going to be part of the story. So they made those first 4, I guess, kind of part of the Legion story. I'm not complaining, I'm happy to have them. I just wish sometimes leveling wasn't such a pain in the ass, but, you know, it is what it is. Another thing, speaking of allied races, they talked a little bit about potential for heritage armor for the pre-existing races, and that's something that they are looking at further down the line, and it probably won't be like every race gets their heritage armor all at one time, and it won't be tied to max level. But they did say that that is something they're looking at. They want to figure out what the iconic armor would look like for each, for like say Night Elves or Pandarans. And then you would go, when it was unlocked, like again in a future patch, you would have a quest pop up for you to actually go and complete that short quest. Of course, during Blizzard, short could be, you know, No telling how long. And then you unlock your heritage armor, set a time below because it'd be kind of anticlimactic. You just log in one day and boom, you got your heritage armor. They want it to be tied to something they said meaningful. You take that for They also touched briefly on why they didn't add any more talent trees as you level. Because it was becoming, you were losing your class distinctions, I guess they would be the way to put it. They want the classes to look, to be different, to feel different, and with sorry about that. And with, if they were adding more talents, they were losing some of the distinctiveness between classes. You know, making them all where they were kind of all had the same abilities, same things. They want that. They want to be able to have classes have distinction among them. You might not be able to have a a specific type of stun or a CC on one character, but you'll have something on another character that will allow you to be complementary and allow you to kind of do the same thing or have the same functionality, while at the same time not just making it where now we're having to sort through, how many do we have now? 7? I mean, you could end up with 20 different talent trees and you're trying to figure out which ones are which ones you haven't made redundant. Now they're trying to add distinction to the classes and basically by expansion, via the legendaries, artifact weapons, the upcoming Azeroth armor, and then Heart of Azeroth necklace that we're going to get. That will allow us to have different abilities that we will be able to utilize in the upcoming expansions, while not overloading us with, a million talent trees. So basically, let's say from going forward, there will be no new talent trees. There's only going to be either artifact, there will be new legendaries, and there will be some gimmick, for lack of a better word, a MacGuffin. Either be artifact weapons, a necklace, and whatever the next expansion could be, like a ring or a set of rings that you get.
Need help? Be careful.
There's a lot of there are a lot of different options they have when they want to go for that. Next thing they talked about that I thought was kind of interesting, they mentioned mythic dungeons and tweaking that, mainly tweaking the learning curve or the difficulty curve for those, because they were talking about how, especially when it first came out, you would be running a 7 and you were trying to level up your key, all of a sudden you're like, well, we're going too fast, we need to slow down because we're going to hit 10, and we're not going to be able to do a 10, but we can clear an 8 and a 9 without any problem. So we, trying to not skip that gearing up. They want to make that feel a little smoother, not quite as, I guess, brutal, where you do clear, no problem, then all of a sudden, bam, you're
What will you require? Embrace the shadow.
and all of a sudden you're just not able to figure, you're just wiping on the first big group of trash you come across. So that's something they're looking at. They also want to change some of the affixes, make those a little balanced, try to make it a little fair for people, because they understand that, you know, there were times when, you know, people didn't want to run certain dungeons because of how horrible the affixes were, and they didn't like seeing certain affixes with different mob types in different dungeons. So that's something else we're looking at, and also probably adding new affixes as they go, just to make it fun. So that's something they're looking at tweaking. The profession changes that everybody's been kind of talking about, how people have noticed how now they're broken up by excuse me. They're broken up by expansion as opposed to have it broken down by expansion. It's kind of to, I guess, make it not as daunting to lower level. I'm very picky about the guild names. I don't want to be anything. First of all, you can't be misspelled. If you can't spell heroes, don't even ask anybody to be in your guild. Sorry, that's just how it should be. You can't spell. Don't make a guild. Okay, back to the Battle for Azeroth stuff. They're breaking professions up by expansion. That will prevent newer players from being overwhelmed by having to learn. You know, so it'll be like probably 1 to whatever classic WoW was at the beginning, when it first started, what its basic level was. Then you know, we'll have 1 to 100 for Burning Crusade, 1 to 100 for Lich King, 1 to 100 for Cataclysm, 1 to 100 for Pandaria, Warlords, and then finally Legion, and then whatever it is for Battle for Azeroth. So that'll eliminate a lot of those problems, make it less daunting. But if you want to do it, so if you want to get your professions up on all your ults, get out there and level them up now, because otherwise you're going to get SOL when the new expansion hits. You'll have to go back, because if you're trying to get stuff for transmogs, you're going to have to go back and actually go to those farm materials there, learn the recipes from there. Probably had to go there anyway to learn the recipes. But it'll be a lot more convoluted trying to learn, because you won't be able to just have the mats, because it'll be stone specific mats now, like Ghost Iron Ore and Pandaria. Also, when people were asking about whether or not Battle for Azeroth will be alt friendly, they said it'll be about like Legion. I know a lot of people apparently didn't think it was. Probably at the beginning it was not as alt friendly as it was later on. They're going to try to smooth that out so it's not like really difficult at first. But again, I wouldn't imagine, you know, right away the gacha mechanics to be implemented. I would imagine probably after the first year of the expansion, they would be smoothed out for you. I know, for somebody who likes to play a lot of alls, that's, you know, it doesn't bother me that much. I can focus on, I tend to focus on one character anyway first until I unlock flying, just because I had horrible experiences in like High Mountain. I don't know how many people tried to goblin glide out something only to realize that the goblin glider was kind of cool down and you fall to your death. That was really annoying. So that'll be about the same. They also mentioned just a quick thing about the different dungeons. I'm trying to explain, like they talked about how when, like in Legion, when we hit level 100, we unlock Surmar. You unlock Surmar. Basically, when you hit 100 this time, you will unlock the entire other 3 zones from, depending on which side you are. Alliance, you'll unlock the Horde side. Horde, you'll unlock the Alliance side. In a lot of places, the initial starting dungeons will be your high-level dungeons, your max level dungeons. So, like your Alliance starting level will be your Horde max level, and vice versa. And actually, it's kind of interesting is that another thing, Taliesin talked on, released his vid yesterday, talking about. I'll probably put a link to his video in the description, so you can watch it. Because it's kind of fascinating seeing how he pieces together data mining. And while sometimes I like his speculation, whereas every once in a while Pyromancer I think goes a little too much over, but it's still interesting to watch him too. So I just don't deep dive into the lore like they do. But again, it's one of those things. You can make the data look like anything you want, depending on how you interpret it. So that's why they're trying to look at the broadcast data mine broadcast text
Hey there.
from the dungeon, because it can be run by both. I'll just post a link because it's going to be complicated for me to explain. I'd rather you guys see it for yourself so you can see what's going on.
Safe travels. How are you?
But I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. I just wanted to give a quick overview, let my thoughts be known about the upcoming Battle for Azeroth, and as I find out more information that I think people want to know about, I'll get a little concise and write it out and get it out there for people to find, because not everybody knows about. Well, most people know about Taliesin and Preach Gaming and Pyro, but you know, not everybody does. So if I can even reach 1 or 2 other people, I'll have done my job. Alright, thanks a lot for listening. Y'all have a good day, night, wherever you are, and it'll be fun.